Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to be doing a review of Amazing Spider-Man number 7 and number 8, Legacy 901 and 902, respectively. So I decided I wanted to try and do these more once a month instead of trying to do every single issue and all that. That way it's just slightly longer than a minute or two. So let's start with number 7 here. For those of you listening on podcast, I apologize if I show visuals. But here we go. Cover by, written by Zeb Wells, John Romita Jr., Hannah and Mayaz. Inker Scott Hanna, colorist Marco Menez, and VC's Joe Caramunga, letterer. So overall, I found this story here, very good. It opens up with the Vulture, with his granddaughter. We haven't seen Starling for a while. She's confronting him about his history that she just didn't want to see and was forced to see because of Spider-Man. And basically, I love you, I'll never see you again. I'm not going to see you again. And I completely understand Vulture's reaction of, Spider-Man. That SOB took everything from me, and if Starling, his granddaughter, was the only good thing in his life, and she turned his back on him, I'd fly into a blind rage myself. But this, other than that little scene there, you see him in tears and anger, and just running off to go after Peter Parker, who's meeting up with Norman at Oscorp about a job interview. I'm not sure how I feel 100% about the whole job at Oscorp. But I guess I figure as long as Norman is the good guy with, sin-free, Peter's luck might be turning around somewhat, in regard to have a good job, especially if that debt collector is still lurking about somewhere. We haven't seen him for a while. Hopefully he's not around. Although I have no idea why this Kamala Khan interning, she's a little weird to see her there, but I love the whole brief, one solid page or 2 pages. We get Peter and MJ talking. It's like finally some thawing on the ice. But the one panel here that I completely missed the first go around, where looks like Paul is punching Peter, because Paul is there too. I thought it was just imagining what Paul wants to do to Peter. But I guess since they're all wearing different clothing, it's the past. Something in the past that I guess maybe 6 months ago that we're unfamiliar with. Anyway, the whole interaction, just the artwork in general here is much smoother. I don't know if it was the last 5 issues beforehand here, before 900. I don't know, it was like the colorist wasn't doing as good of a job. It just seems like this almost doesn't look 100% like JR. It looks so much smoother and more graceful. I love the artwork inside here. But it's interesting to see the new spider suit that was designed. And just very interesting, Vulture on the rooftop here. And I understand some people might complain that Peter's so far in a distance that you're wasting so much comic book space. But I enjoyed this far-off view of looking at Peter just swinging through the city like that as Vulture was looking out for him, because you don't see too much of just Spider-Man in New York, a character in itself. It was really nice to see it, but just the ferocity that Vulture just boom and just takes him vertically up in the air and going, crushes crushes the what is it called? The web shooters. And Peter's just falling You know, it's just I mean, yeah, you know, he's not gonna die, but you wonder how the hell Peter's gonna survive such a massive distance. But then, yeah, just he smashes the web shooters. He goes falling, and that's to be continued in 2 weeks' time. But anyway, like I said, the artwork was gorgeous. The storyline was awesome. I loved the fight. At least the first half of the fight. This was really good. I mean, the only downside would have been the interactions with Paul there and all that, and maybe just the whole Peter. Peter still hasn't really fully accepted Norman as good, so I was like, aha, I knew it. You know, you were trying to double cross me or whatever. You're not really good, yada yada yada. So, but great story, great artwork, great color. I view this grade here at an A minus for a 9.1 for a ASN number 7. My grade would be a 9 and a half. 9 A minus. My apologies. I don't know why I kept trying to say 9 minus, but ultimately it's very very good. There's only a little bit here I would have changed. You know, the whole Kamala Khan cameo, just could have got rid of that entirely. But I understand Vulture's reaction, his absolute hatred to go get Spider-Man. So this whole, people might understand, not get it, but I understood it 100%. I mean, Vulture he did the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, but in a way he was justified. So, anyway, one of the worst things about this is ultimately the cover. You know, that's basically it. This thing was a gorgeous, gorgeous book. ASN number 7. A minus for sure. Alright, moving on to Amazing Spider-Man issue number 8. We get the first cover appearance of the new suit that Norman designs. This thing is really cool. The glow, the symbol, the glow of the eyes, the glowing balls on his arms. Him riding on a spider glider. I mean, this thing is pretty cool. This cover here, I think is easily. Let's discredit 9. Let's take issue 900 out of the equation. Issue number 8 here, I think, is the best cover. You can argue the second one in the rain, MJ walking away, Peter looking sullen. You could argue for that one being up there for the best one, but I honestly think that this one ekes out just by the gorgeousness of the cover. Not to mention the other variants, which we will not be showing in this video here. But Amazing Spider number 8, again, story by Zeb Wells, John Romita Jr., penciler, Scott Hanna, inker, Marco Martinez, colorist, VC's Joe Caramunga's letterer. You know, created by Stanley and Steve Ditko, and CB Kabolsky as the editor-in-chief. So, Peter's falling to in here we got Peter falling to his doom. You know, so high, falling, so high. Web shooter's broken, and then web shooter's already broken, but he remembers his web cartridges, and he just falling into the trees, or right before the trees, breaks them open, and as he's falling through the trees, hitting every branch on the way down, the web's going there sticking, and finally, of course, inches below the ground, as usual, stops, just like a comic book and a cartoon. But then Vulture, right again, just boom, attacking him. Just the fight in here, just flying everywhere, knocking him around into a chimney, scratching him up, just destroying him. Just, you took her from me, and then accused of a murder. You know, Peter's calling for help. Norman going, give me the suit. I need the upgraded suit. You know, but Norman can't bring it for whatever reason, because I guess in the end he wanted to take the suit to save Peter, but he ventured at the end there that he didn't put it on because, I mean, understandable that if he gets on a glider again, he might not get off, because Green Goblin is who he is, even if he's not evil anymore. That personality twerk that might be there, even if he's not evil. It just makes sense. Anyway, Peter is just trying to escape the Vulture, and so he's ends up getting on his back and steering him to Oscorp to where he can retrieve the suit himself. And just boom! Out of the window of Oscorp in the new suit, flying the glider. And that is just a gorgeous cover. That is a gorgeous cover. Gorgeous picture. I mean, I don't agree with the golden eyes. I think it just works for this round. I mean, the golden eyes didn't work for Amazing Spider-Man with Garfield, but but as a cost in the comic book, it works a lot better than it did in the movie. But he's throwing Peter throws a spider ball, these little nano spiders that crawl on Vulture to cover his eyes so he can't see. And he just ends up, knocking him out, running him into a chimney himself, knocking Vulture out, repairing his gauntlets. Talking to the Vulture, going, more like, just the whole so you're mad at me telling your granddaughter the truth about you being a murderer, so your first thought was trying to murder me. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those comic book things, and going seriously, you guys did not see the oxymoron, the Hippocratic thinking here. And but he's so since I'm gonna be sore for a month, why don't you settle for almost killing me today? And Vulture's I guess I'll have to. But then he jumps off. Vulture's still attached to the chimney. Talk with Norman where they have that conversation of, would you really try to kill me? Answer me. And just the whole, I wanted to ride to your rescue in the suit, but I couldn't ride the gauntlet. And what I didn't mention beforehand, or maybe I did mention the last one, but Norman offers Peter a job, and Peter's saying, you know what, Norman, I do believe you that you don't want to be that person again. You want to make the most of your second chance now. And I can't believe he's doing this, but I believe you, and I'll accept that job if it's available. So it is. It's a heck of an epic, heck of a last panel there of just very nice. Just again, the artwork in here is gorgeous. I mean, just the colorist is really on top of his game, it seems like. I mean, maybe it's just the characters involved here are just different in how they're drawn, and it just went smoother. Because I hate JRJR's Tombstone. I really don't like his look in this, But Vulture here is good. Peter is really warming up to Peter. MJ is not as pretty as I'm used to her being, but that's just a minor complaint. Heck of a fight. Action all the way through. The brief little scene there with Norman kind of out of the way, going, Norman, send the suit. Couldn't do it, and just the conversation afterwards. That's the only down portions in an action-packed episode, or issue, my apologies. I'm torn. What do I do to give this grade? Amazing Spider-Man number 8 with a brilliant cover. Gorgeous artwork inside. Let's see. The minor portions, the out of the fight scene with the Vulture aside, because you have to deal with that aspect of Norman too. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This book, Amazing Spider-Man number 8, Legacy 902. This one gets an A+ from me. A soft A+. I'll say a soft A+, because there are minor things that if I wanted to be picky as hell, I could nitpick at it. But otherwise, I can't really find any fault with this. The artwork was good. The story was good. Second point in that march, I still don't know where this arc is going per se, unless this is the Peter gets a job arc. kind of a thing. I have no idea where this arc was going, like the first one, first one did with Tombstone, and we saw where that one was going relatively quickly enough. This one I still have no idea. But that aside, gorgeous. So ASM number 7, A-, ASM number 8, A+, soft A+, but an A+ nonetheless. So those are my 2 reviews for Amazing Spider-Man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. For those of you listening to the podcast, I do on Comic Collector's Corner. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, listening to it. Check out my channel, Mr. Comics 89, to see this video and the artwork as I talk about it in person if you're interested. And until next time, everyone, thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Talk to you later.